Tales from the trenches. As a listing agent, I see a lot of buyers. I talk to a lot of buyers. A lot of times buyers will contact me directly to see a property. And one of the questions I always ask them is, are you being represented by another agent? Are you in a contract with an agent? And most of the time they are not. Sometimes they are. And then I educate them on the contract that they signed with their agent, which says that the buyer will work exclusively with the agency and refer all properties of interest and conduct all negotiations through the agency for any property of interest. So a lot of times, and this just happened to me, a buyer, sometimes they just don't even realize they're in a contract. And that boggles my mind. It boggled my mind when it happened recently in my business, that the buyer didn't know. Because when I sign a contract with a buyer, I go through, we have 1.5 pretty detailed pages in the state of Maine anyway for our buyer contract. And I go through it line by line and explain every single line to somebody, so they know for sure when they are in a contract with me. The only time I don't go through it line by line is if it's a very, very experienced buyer, or we're just updating the contract that we've already signed. So I thought I would do a little video to make buyers more aware of what is happening here. So sometimes for some real estate agents, in order for them to even show you property, they make you sign a contract. And so you need to be aware, if you are signing something with a real estate agent, have them explain every single thing in it that you're signing, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. So the exclusive right to exclusive buyer representation agreement spells out a lot of different things, including that an agent is compensated. It spells out, like I said, that you will work directly with the agency, that you will, consult with the agency before going to any open houses, before contacting any for sale by owners, et cetera, et cetera. And as a buyer, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble if you have unknowingly or inadvertently signed a contract with a real estate agent and then go to another real estate agent to write an offer. And I put a lot of the blame on agents for not explaining thoroughly. A lot of buyers are really anxious to put in an offer, and some agents will wait until they put in an offer for a buyer in order to have them sign an agreement. And that's totally legit. You can operate your business however you want to. But I think that they sometimes skip over the explanation part of the contract because they're just in such a rush to get a contract in front of a seller. So buyers, be very aware of what it is that you're signing and if you're in a contract. Now, when you sign a contract with a real estate agent, you can do that for just one property. So if you're like, oh, I really want you to write an offer on this, you can do it for one property. I'd be very wary of signing a very broad contract with an agent. In the state of Maine and New Hampshire, we put in there what areas a buyer is looking in. And I'll tell you flat out, I work in York County. It's a huge county, and I am not the right agent to represent you if you are buying a property. I'm trying to think of the furthest town away from me in York County, but I wouldn't be the right agent to represent you. There's somebody much better versed in that area. So even within the same county, you can really just narrow it down to different towns, and you can have a different agent represent you for every town you're looking in if you really wanted to. But if you're just wanting somebody to write one offer on one property, you can put that in here. There's a lot of things that can be negotiated in here for you as a buyer. And I would be remiss to just blindly sign anything that's put in front of me by a real estate agent. So that's my little PSA to buyers and maybe to agents. Maybe we should be explaining this a little bit better to people and not jumping so quickly into getting somebody in a contract. That is that. If you've got any questions about being represented as a buyer, if you've got questions about the value of your home, if you are looking for a home, feel free to shoot me a message below. I would be happy to help you.